All right, Mike is back for his full forecast. Mike, no one to blame because we have some weather coming up on Tuesday.
Yes, we do. And I think that this is going to be one of those forecasts that's going to make a small group of people very happy and a much larger group of people maybe not so happy.
Are you going to explain this one? Because I don't really know what you're talking about.
There's a few people who have been messaging me nonstop and are like, we want more snow. But there's a lot more people that say they're ready for spring. And we've got the S word back in the forecast. We're going to start with a look right now over Portland, though, to show just how gusty it is. Take a look at the tower cam there, shaking all over the place. 46 degrees right now in Portland. Wind gusts between about 20 to 30 miles an hour, depending on where you are in the state of Maine. All of this coming out of the northwest. Lewiston gusted to 29 miles an hour. Augusta gusted to 26, 25 miles an hour in Waterville. And it's been pretty breezy most of the day today. We've been dealing with pop-up showers on and off. And I've gotten a lot of pictures of people asking if it's snow or hail or what they're seeing. And the majority of these pop-ups, you're actually seeing what we call graupel. And that forms in a similar way to hail. It's a snowflake with super cooled water droplets that actually form on top of it. But now that we're losing our daytime heating, we have far less coverage of these showers than what we saw earlier today. And that's kind of a similar story here across most of the Northeast and into upstate New York. Certainly not something that we are going to be dealing with for much longer tonight. However, tomorrow is just a brief break in what is going to be, I think, a pretty active week. Over the next several hours, temperatures will begin to fall back. Inland areas falling down into the 20s tonight, some spots near freezing. If you've got any plants, especially if you're in Penobscot County down to Androscoggin County, this section of 95 from Bangor down to the Lewiston-Auburn area, I know some people have potted plants out already. Take them inside tonight or cover them up. I do think that this will probably be one of the chilliest nights that we see this week, but it's this cooler air that gets pulled in with the storm on Tuesday that actually gives us a bit of a threat for some snow. By tomorrow afternoon, we've got full sunshine, highs in the 50s. A sea breeze kicks up in the afternoon, so I think that the high temperature at the coast will happen probably around noon or 1. Inland, the high temperature will not happen until the typical time around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Clouds thicken up tomorrow evening out ahead of Tuesday's storm. Notice the first snow showers begin well to our west, most likely along the I-91 corridor here, bringing a fresh batch of snow to parts of Vermont and northern New Hampshire. Locally, I think that with wind coming off the water, the coast is never going to see snow. Dew points are simply going to be way too high, and if there are any flakes that fly at the coast on Tuesday morning, they will melt very quickly. But we start off with snow in the mountains and even across parts of central Maine. I think this model might be just a little bit too warm. Otherwise, a bit of a wintry mix. And then that transitions over to very heavy rain as the day goes on, with the remaining snow and mix from Millinocket and Greenville north into the county. We actually end up in a dry slot Tuesday afternoon and evening, so I think we're going to dry out fairly quickly. Here's what I'm thinking for forecast snow totals. Less than an inch for this area highlighted here in gray. 1 to 3 inches for the area here in light blue, and this is going to include Jackman and Rangeley, with 3+ inches across parts of Oxford County and toward Berlin, New Hampshire and south. Closer to part of the White Mountains. And the reason that I think it's going to be just a little bit higher to our west is because it's a little bit further away from the warmer air, and also elevation is going to play a big role in this. On top of this, there's a wind threat at the coastline. I think we're going to see gusts to about 35, maybe even 40 miles an hour during the day on Tuesday as the storm actually begins to strengthen and moves through. The low itself is expected to track through New Hampshire into western Maine, so that's going to put the coastline in that sweet spot. And this is kind of a double whammy because areas that end up with a few inches of heavy wet snow could end up with some power outages. At the coastline, where it's gusty, we might see a few power outages as well. That storm passes on Tuesday, and by Wednesday we start to dry things back out. And I think that the end of the week will be decent, but not super sunny. It looks like there will be a lot of quick passing clouds, maybe a stray shower here or there. Seas 2 to 4 feet tomorrow. Northwest wind 10 to 15 knots, becoming south in the afternoon as the sea breeze kicks up. Wet snow with a mix south Tuesday inland, some clouds and breezy Wednesday, and then we start that warming trend gradually. By Friday, we're talking mid to upper 50s and low 60s. Saturday looks nice, and we got to watch Sunday, Sam, because next Sunday we could be talking about another backdoor front, which is when the rest of New England has all the fun and we end up on the cold side of things.
Snow, sun, more sun, rain. We got it all coming up this week.
Yeah, it's one of those weeks.
It's spring in Maine. Thanks, Mike. All right, when we come back, a look at some events.